Hello, everybody, and welcome. Whew, come on in. I wasn't on yesterday. I was, Mateus wasn't feeling well, so I just sort of laid low, um, in in just chilling and stuff. So I thought I'd come out today and have a chit chat with everybody. And there is a video that, well, first of all, for those who are just joining me, and my name's Mary Jane Tracy, psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach, and astrologer. Um, there is a video that's been passed to me a few times, and one of the people that are being interviewed on it, well, I, well, I'll just be straightforward. I don't like her. But I mean, she is coming up with stuff and saying things. Um, what's it called? Anyways, it's everything that I've been talking about and everything that I've been saying. And, people are passing this around as if this is something new to me. And I'm just like, from Jason Shirka, I'm like, it's everything that I've been talking about, everything that I've been saying, especially to Canadians. It's like where they're shocked that, this can happen in Canada. And I'm just like, why would you be so shocked? You live in a Commonwealth country. You don't live in the United States. You live in a Commonwealth country. And in a Commonwealth country, if they decide to take something from you, they can. It's it's a Commonwealth country. You not see what's happening in Australia right now? It's crazy. It is crazy. And a lot of people don't like the truth that I'm going to be coming out and the things that I'm going to be saying, because it's harsh and it's a reality of getting people to come to their light. And the energies that are coming in right now, and as we are stepping into October, they're going to be crazy. They're going to be transformational. They're going to be where people aren't going to want to hear or want to see or want to believe what's going on. And many of, this is where we want to be positive with our future and take a look at what we want to take a look at, especially with Mercury retrograde and Pluto. And Pluto is bringing in the fear. There's a fear with the Capricorn. There's a lot of fear that's being raised and losing a grip on something. And this is where we have to look at where we want to have the fun. So a lot of times when people, when you're riding a bike, you don't focus on, oh, how am I riding the bike? You ride the bike. Stepping into your life and living your life. Stepping in there and living to your light is the most important thing right now. And coming into this light and coming into and focus, and where there's a scene and in Beauty and the Beast, scene in Beauty and the Beast. Anyways, the scene when he's looking at the rose and it's all about the rose and the rose is going to die. And all I know is this horrible disfigured person because that's the only identity that I've ever had. And this is where we have to go in. It's like, that's not the only identity that you have. That is not the only identity. And there are these beautiful opportunities, but you got to seize the moment within inside yourself and show up. But yet there are going to be parts where you are going to start to see things sliding away and what they need. And this is a processing, and this is a deep processing that we're in, and a recalibration. And this recalibration is to find the happiness and to live our life. Now, the push is on for people to conform. The push is coming on for people to be a certain way, and the fear is there. That's where Pluto's coming in. It's showing you where the fear is. It's showing you do this, this is what you get. You act like this is what you get. It is a force. It's this force that's coming in. And this is where it wants you to adhere to what they say instead of coming into your own spiritual baptism, instead of coming into your own spirituality. Because the fear is great out there, and people will give me their list, and I know the list is there about, okay, I'm going to lose my home, I'm going to lose, I won't be able to feed my family, and that is what they want. That's where they want you to be. They want to get you to a point where you rely so much upon this earth, upon them, whoever they are, that you can't stand in your power. You give over your power because that's all you know, that's all you feel. And this is where there is this energy that's coming forth for you to be that way, to be that, and especially with when we're coming into a new moon next week. And the new moon will have Pluto go direct. And I base my stuff and what I see and what I'm standing for is not only through the astrology, but through what I know inside myself to be true. And standing in my truth in what I do. A lot that's coming forth that I see, and that one video that's been shared to me a few times. And I've said to them, I said, this is all what I've been telling you. It's nothing new. I've been saying this stuff since 2019. And other people have been saying the same thing since, even into late 2018 and into 2019. And I even talked about being on a side, looking at what side are you going to be coming into. And that was back in 2016, 2017. Looking at what side of the bank, what side of the river do you want to be on? And are you wanting to be in this one energy that is saying, okay, this is what you're going to do? It's like this conformity, this lower energy. Or do you want to go to the other side where the high frequency is? But yet some people, it's very difficult to go into the high frequency. It's very difficult for them to go there because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable when you're stepping into it. So if anybody's ever had any sound healing done, the very first time when you get into sound healing and you get into these frequencies and you get into this energy field, your frequency starts to change. I know sometimes when I'm around different machinery, especially when they're testing frequencies, the machine doesn't even have to be plugged in. I can feel that freaking machine. I know what it's doing. And same with when you're, which is very similar. It's like when you pick up a crystal, you can feel, many people can just feel that frequency. Even they don't even have to pick up that. They just know there's a higher frequency in there and they can feel it. And sometimes you're drawn to it. Sometimes it's repelling you because you're not within that vibration of that frequency. And I've been using the Tektite lately. And the more I've been using Tektite, and having it around, I sleep with it underneath my pillow. There's an energy within me that I feel is moving in this higher frequency. And where the fear that comes in, and with these, okay, how to explain these thoughts that are coming in, that what you own, what you have with the land, with the houses, with everything that you got is meaningless. And this is where two beautiful energies are coming in, and one is Sedana, and the other one is Hoana, who is Pele's mother. These two indigenous energies that are coming in that are showing you that everything that we have here, everything that you have, or everything that you are trying to hold on to is meaningless. The only thing that has meaning is your connection with God. The only thing that has meaning is how you ride your bike, how you are stepping into your day. When we go back, and like yesterday was an appreciation day for Aboriginals, and we go back into that, and everybody's on board with that beautiful energy. But are you really on board with it? Are you really willing to step back into that alignment with the earth? That alignment with the divine? Here's the energies that are coming forth that are saying, are you in alignment with what is coming in? Because we are going to show you what doesn't work. We're going to show you what isn't in alignment. We're going to show you how things are unbalanced in this world. And are you prepared to witness this all? Are you prepared to step into this and see it? Some of it, it's where fuel in the UK right now. I mean, they have lineups. They can't get fuel. Some of the petrol cans, like some of the stations are closed, completely closed right now in the UK. They cannot get the fuel. They've allowed, I think, 3 tankers in. That's not a lot of fuel. They're only allowed 30 liters. 30 liters is not a lot. And for those in the States, that 4 liters equals 1 gallon. 4 liters equals 1 gallon. So you can figure it out from there. So if you're only allowed 30 liters, that's not a lot of petrol. And that's happening in the UK right now. So where are you hanging on to? China's having electrical shortages. Electricity is going out in many different states. Students are doing classwork by candlelight to get their work in. Many people are going back to like, oh my God, we need to heat our house. This is where the lights coming in and saying what is important, because when we go into that frequency, when we go into, and I keep on telling people, when we go into this in trust, it's amazing what is unfolding for us. But we are seeing where there's this constant push. We'll get this percentage and then we'll give you back your freedom. You get this and we'll give you this. Really? Are you really going to? Where we're seeing in places like Singapore, Israel, all of those places, and a few others, that, they're at that max, if not more. But the deaths are occurring. It's a purging, my people. It's a purging. It's a purging that people do not want to look at. It's a purging, as I said, when Pluto goes into Aquarius, the population drops. So by 2025, we're going to start seeing even more population dropping. There's going to be more deaths than births. This is a weird place where we're at, and it's a weird place. I was watching, and it's on TikTok. And I think her video's been taken down now, but she took a vial and she put it under the microscope, and it was crazy stuff that was underneath there. Crazy stuff and things in these little and it was like at 400 times or 500 times magnification, and some of it they had to shine sort of like a black light on to see some of the things that were in one of those elixirs. And I'm like, what? Scary shit. Scary shit. It is where I feel, and this is where even when whistleblowers are coming out and people are coming out, the lieutenant colonel, even for Afghanistan, coming out and asking for answers. He's in the brig. Are they going to let him out? Oh, fuck no. It's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call for people to begin to awaken, to begin to stand. Soon you will not be able to assemble. I can see that coming. Right now, they just did something out with one of the elixirs that males between 18 and I think was it 25 or 27 or something should not take this one. And I thought it was funny that they used the one instead of the big name one, because the big name one has more in with the government and the payouts and the lobbyists. There's a Dr. Ryan Cole was talking about, and he was talking about how after everything was coming, how people were getting shingles and herpes and the levels were spiking. And now he's even saying that cancers that were stable are now unstable. and that rarer cancers that wouldn't be going to certain age groups are coming up. So there's major warning flags. I keep on saying red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. It is a clean out. It's a cryptic clean out that we're having. And this is where I said October is going to be showing you what's going to be going on for 2022. 2022 is not going to be it's only going to get crazier. And we're going to start seeing more of the pressures put on people and the segregations coming in. We're going to be seeing it and we're going to be witnessing it. Yet many, because their fear and attachment to the illusions, don't want to lose. They don't want to lose. When anything is attached to money, when transactions and money are a part of what it is that they're trying to get you to do, and dare I say the word, it's the mark of the beast. Do I dare say that? But do I dare that people are going to be very upset and mad with me? But when you are forced into a transaction that has to do with financial gain, never turns out to be a good thing. If you do something and give away a part, we've seen that. We've seen the Me Too movement. How many women have given away a part of themselves so they can gain fame and fortune? They wanted the fame and the fortune, so they slept with a guy, sucked his dick, whatever it was, to get to where they were going to get, because they couldn't get it unless they did that. That's a mark of the beast too. That's selling your soul out. So we're selling our souls. So many, and I feel for these young people that are working in some of these fucking industries of fast food that are being pressured to do something that is going to have implications on them for the rest of their life. For fucking 15 hours a job. $1 a job. Is that where we're going? October, and as we are going into this month, it is going to show you that this is going to be the wrath of Kelly coming in. Kelly's going to come in full force. There is energy that's coming in that is very justice, but it's slow and it takes time. And it's taking time in this rebirthing. This is where we're coming forth, and we're going to be seeing, especially over the next 6 months. I'm going to give you 6 months till, and that's February, March. Yeah, till about March, 6 months, because on February 20th, 2022 is when Pluto becomes, the natal Pluto becomes exact with the transiting Pluto in Capricorn in the second house of the natal chart of the United States. And that has a lot to do with how the economy, how things are doing with your values come in, because it's a house of Taurus. Capricorn's in the second house in the natal chart, but it is also ruled by Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, and Venus has a lot to do with money, but she has a lot to do with values. It's her values, what she believes is true, how she is standing in who she is. Like right now, Venus is in Scorpio for a couple more days before she goes into Sagittarius. She is feisty. She's direct. She doesn't like to be there. But a Venus in Scorpio really wants to get to the fact of the matters, get people to see what's going on, and come to their truth of who they are and what are the boundaries that you are putting up. Where are those boundaries? Where is that truth that you are coming in? Where are you enjoying riding your bike? My girlfriend's son, he does he does tightrope walking across 1,000-foot drops or 500-foot drops, and he walks across it without a net. And he does the tightrope, he does the balancing, and he does the whole thing. Why does he do it? Because he loves it. It's what he loves. It's crazy. He's like, oh my God, how could you do that? But that is part of who he is. He loves it. He's doing this walking. He's doing this because he's not thinking about, oh, how am I going to do the tightrope walk? He gets out there. He goes, I'm embracing the walk. I'm embracing this. And that's where we're at. Where are you embracing your life? Or are you living in the fear of the what if? And that's as we are heading into this weekend, as we're heading into this month, it is an energy of saying, are you going into the what if? Or are you going into the yes? This is where I'm at. This is where I'm coming to. And it feels so fucking good because I love this frequency. And the one that I've noticed, and I've been noticing this over since this pressure's all been coming in, that I've been noticing as especially as I'm doing readings, which are really weird, that when somebody has the full elixir, the connection is harder to get to. So let me repeat that. When I'm doing a reading and I'm trying to get a connection for you and come in with that connection, it's harder for me to come into that connection because your frequency can't reach it. And that light is like almost where the soul is still trying to fight, but is having a harder time with the connection. And I even feel it when I'm in my mediumship and I work with the mediumship energy, that I'm with those who are on the other side. And they're showing me, they're like saying this, I have nothing to say, or I don't have a message much for them anymore. And I'm like, whoa, okay. And I don't fake my readings. I'm not a faker. I don't fake readings. And I've never in my life, never in my life have I ever had where it's been harder for me to connect with that person's energy, especially after they've had the double dose. I didn't think it was possible. I've always been able to connect. Always. But when I start feeling that and seeing that, I know something's offline. I know there is something that is going that's haywire. Because it's becoming harder and harder to have that. And some are really trying hard once they have it to stay in their light, to stay on that course, to really work with what they need to work with. And they're trying, but they're finding even within their own selves that either they're weaker, they don't have the stamina, or what have you. And they push through it, but it's, yeah, I'm even seeing it within my own children. And I'm like, okay, path that you choose is the path that you choose. But staying within your truth is going to be the most important thing. So right now, that Biden photo is all like fucking fake. Him sitting there getting his third dose, like, I don't know. It's like there's no place to run and hide. It's everything is going to come out and be exposed. but it's going to take a time for this exposure to come in. It's going to be a time. And I, on my live I did a couple days ago, and I was talking about the United States and the natal chart of the United States, showing you, I even showed the chart, showing the chart of the United States and saying, okay, this is what we're heading into. This is what we're coming towards. And we're coming into a time that is going to bring in economic strife. We're going to come into where there's going to be huge shortages. We're coming into where we may not even have ways of communication. So communications might end up being limited or cut off in some way. So these are the things that are coming forth, and that has to do with a new form of lockdowns and environmental lockdowns. But for me, it's like, okay, that's fine, but that has nothing to do with how I'm going to continue my work. That has nothing to do with how I'm going to continue my light. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. I'm going to continue doing my coaching and my teachings and showing up as much as I can and let you know that I'm here. This, oh, it opened your hubby's eyes. Yeah. And it's the thing is, the astrology doesn't lie. You may not believe in it. You don't have to believe in astrology to know that it works. You don't. You don't have to believe in it at all. Just go to the ocean. Just go to the ocean and watch when the tides are high and the tides are low, and look at where the moon is. The sun changes seasons. So why is the sun lower right now than when it was in the spring and the summer? Oh, because we're in the fall? What does that have to do with anything? Oh, why do we feel certain things when the moon is a certain way, or when we're having a Saturn return? Why do people's lives really get really screwy and crazy between the ages of 27 and 30? Saturn return. Why are 15-year-olds little assholes? Saturn opposition. And some people say, well, I wasn't a little asshole, but you were at an age between the ages of 14 and 16 making changes in your life, making thoughts and a connection and how you connect. It's even within psychology and sociology, they talk about that, because you are starting to question your connection with your authorities in some way, in some format. So this is where, as I say, the astrology has shown me that changes are coming in. They're showing me that with Pluto in Capricorn, shit's going to hit the fan. And we're starting, because Pluto's, I think, at 24 degrees. It's only a 3-degree orb. Like, it's not far away. That's very close. And so with that, we're starting to feel that pull. We're starting feeling that tension. We're starting to see dismantlements that are going on. And there's things within the government, there's laws that are in the government that you and I aren't privy to. So when that video was shown to me, and I'm just like, really, people, this is surprising to you? This is surprising to you? Where I mentioned, I think about 6 months ago, that I said to people that you live in a Commonwealth country and the government can come in at any time and seize your property. They can. They can do martial law at any time within Canada. You don't think so? You look at Australia. It's a Commonwealth country. Why do you think other countries aren't going to step in? Because they're going to have to step in against England. And if you don't think that England still has power, it does. It broke away from the EU, and the EU started to collapse. Told you about the Chamberlain of Germany. I said there's something going to happen with the Chamberlain of Germany. She's stepping down. And she's kept an iron fist on keeping her country together. Now we're going to see some crazy shit happening in Germany. and how things are going to start to really take a new swing in that country. And things are going to start to crumble. But that's where dismantlement is going to come in. And even within our own country, some form of dismantlement. And things that they were telling Boris Johnson, and he didn't listen. The economists were saying, hey, you are talking about something 10 years out. You're talking about something like 5 years out. We're talking about right now where mothers can't feed their children and they can't get proper food. I mean, it won't be the first time in England that people have had to go through a famine or some kind of form of starvation and lacking. They seem to, it's a rotation. It does happen, but they're going to be feeling it, and it's going to be more in the limelight. But that's because leaders aren't listening. That's not on their agenda. That's not what they're going. They're going with the other part. They're going with that mark and going with that alignment, because that's money, right? That's money. Will flood you with all this money. Flood you. But what does it mean at the end of the day? $100 for what? What is that? Honestly, it's not going to make a huge difference in my life. But what will is injecting me with something that can make huge ratifications within my body that I know with all my heart and soul would be the worst thing ever for myself. So it's coming down not so much of a segregation of the elixed and non-elixed. It's coming down to a segregation of oppression, of how far we can push you so that you will conform. Because even in Australia, you're getting arrested for going out having a smoke. You're allowed a 4-hour break. They're not asking you if you are or not. They're just arresting you. You're not conforming. Wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to embrace. There's a community that I've been sort of watching and doing a little bit of study on, and I think it's amazing that it's the Amish community, or even the Hutterites within, but the Amish, like the extreme Amish, which don't have electricity, don't have, they don't have telephones and stuff. That's the extreme. Some do. Their kids only go to, they do the full education for their kids. The books they read are only books on history. They read all history books and all kinds of books on history. They have such a strong connection with the land and a strong connection with their animals. And they pay their taxes. They don't vote. There is where you go into, from the Amish, you can go into the Mennonite and there's different levels. I've been learning different levels. But when a community comes together, a very strong community, and says, you know what, I don't conform to that. I'll pay you my taxes. We don't do life insurance. We don't buy into anything like that. If somebody needs treatment, though, we will make sure that they can get the treatment. They have auctions. They do things to band together for financials so that people can get what they need, right? If anything happens medically for people, or for the elderly, to take care of their the older community, and to make sure that the people, the elderly in the community, are being taken care of. This, I mean, if you want to, but it's not an easy world. It's not in a world where, oh, I just sit back and I can watch Netflix all day. No, that's not it. But it's an easy world where you get up and you are working with an alignment, and you're working with that alignment with the divine. One of the, when I was looking at some of the, was talking about where his, he says, no, we don't believe in the vaccinations or any of our children being vaccinated. They are very much where COVID did come through, but he said it was like a bad flu. Like it was a really bad flu. And that's how we took it at. But people recovered from it. Some, he was mentioning some, yes, it was like a pneumonia. It felt like very much like they had a very bad infectious pneumonia. And we know that with things like that, it always takes a while to get better. Um, but this is where they've done their own homework too on what they know to be true, and they know not to trust the government. They know not to trust the government. And they're also a community that if the draft came in, their community is exempt from it. They will help in hospitals, they will help in other ways, but they will not take arms up against another. Because their belief in their divine is God. That's who rules them. God's the constant one. The divine's the constant one. Jesus is the constant one. Now, you don't have to believe if you don't want to believe in Jesus or whatever, that's fine. But what I'm saying, look at that type of energy of what they're in and their connections with the land. And their land is some of the most fertile land because they don't put any of the crap into their land. They still farm in the very natural way. Yes, it would be nice to have some of that really beautiful farming equipment, but he says it's amazing how you just know things about your land that you wouldn't normally know. And it may take a little bit longer, but if something ever happens, or if you're sick, how we band together to make sure that person's crop comes in. Or if something happened or your barn burnt down, we will be there to build your barn up. That's where the higher frequency is. You might call it a utopia, but it's one where the people are coming together to create something that is in alignment. Hence, I'm going back to these asteroids and these dwarf planets that are coming in and making huge aspects to everything, and they are ones that are having aboriginal energy with them and saying we got to come back to the connection. When I was born, like I think there was like maybe 4 vaccinations I had. That's it. Now, since my grandson, by the time between his birth to when he is 18, 73 different vaccinations. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? So it's an awakening time. It's a time to awaken. It's a time to reevaluate and come back into your connection. So, sending you guys off with so much love. If anybody's in the Calgary area and they need extra canned goods and stuff, I do have some. You can get a hold of me and I can put something together for you. I got a lot of tuna and peanut butter right now. So if you like tuna fish and you need 3 or 4 cans of tuna fish, I got that. And I got some peanut butter can give you, and some soups and things like that. Definitely. So let me know. And I can put something together or just stop by and I'll give you out my address. But I just don't randomly give out my address or my phone number. So, but if you are also needing to get into coaching, any coaching, there are packages on my website, the Guru Mama. So definitely we can do that. Also, there is 2 spots left for Passing Through the Veil. So I have 2 spots left for Passing Through the Veil if you are wanting to join me on October 29th. And everybody is going to get a reading. It will not be recorded. I'm not recording that. So you have to be there. You have to show up. And on October 16th, I am doing a little spell casting workshop. If you're interested, let me know. It's $50 as well. And we can get together and we'll discuss different things to work on, from candle magic to dressing your candle and things like that. Find time to get black candles. So October's here. Go to Michael's, go to your Halloween shops, start stocking up on your black candles. This is the time of year to get them. So, and even little black tea lights and stuff like that. This is a fine time to get them, because usually they're harder to find during the year. So you can to do your protection spells and things along that line. And yeah, so if you're needing a reading or something, definitely get a hold of me, and we will book you in. Have a blessed day. Have a fabulous Friday, October 1st. Rabbit, rabbit, let's bring in some good luck and let's step into our beautiful energies. I know it's crazy, it's rough, it's nutty, but where can you go and have some fun and put on some music and dance today? So have a blessed day, and yeah, you might be caught between a rock and a hard place. And I already posted this, the fire or the frying pan, but you get the idea. Push through, the redemption comes later. Got to push through, baby. Got to push through. And let's just step in, because North Node Gemini wants truth. Wants truth. Pluto, Capricorn, wants truth. Doesn't want bullshit. Doesn't want a band-aid. Wants the truth. So have a blessed one, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Blessed be everybody. Bye-bye.